for that video.
I guess that's what you guys were doing in the off time of not actually hosting the show here. Now we know. I mean, that was, first of all, I'm not gonna lie, Aaron, that red wig looked a little too natural. I'm just gonna say it. It looked good. So.
And let's talk about the tournament.
Let's do it.
We have come a long way to get here, and now we are here, the final day. And we're going to start out with a third place match. Rustage and the Anime Man made it to the semifinals, and unfortunately were defeated by their cohorts, and will face off for a chance at doubling the prize money from that $400 fourth place prize to $800 for third. And then I guess the match that everybody knew they had to wait for, a CDawg versus Gigguk. A lot of people had their fingers crossed, I think, for this matchup, right, JT?
Oh yeah, they were basically predicting that it would be Connor and Garnet in the championship match, and the prophecy came true. So I'm excited.
Well, I didn't even know that when I have to say for the record, I did not know who the strongest player was of these anime superstars when I predicted that Connor would be in the final. I said I was rooting for him after I did that anime dubbing video, so I'm excited that worked out. I'm also, so I made my camp clear. I'm Camp Connor, but also I'm excited to see what Giga can do. He's like you said, Aaron, in our pre-show, he's a very patient player. I think it was a great highlight moment in the Twitter video showing him take 2,000 years to make sure he didn't deliver stalemate, right? But will that pay off, right? Sometimes patience, can really be a key skill against a guy who maybe knows he's the better player. Maybe that makes Connor a little overconfident at times, and Giga can take advantage of it. So I'm pretty excited to see what they deliver. Of course, we're sitting here talking about the final. I mean, we have Rustage and Joey, the Anime Man, coming up first.
We do, and you did tease that you did this voiceover video. So anyone who has not had a chance to check that out, run over to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/chess. Find this thumbnail, and you will, enjoy this. But before we get those games started, we're gonna actually talk to Rustage and the Anime Man. We're gonna bring them on right before their match because they both decided that they wanted a little bit of airtime to say whatever they might have on their mind. So we are going to cut to a very quick break. We're going to bring on those players. We'll have a conversation, and then we will kick off the third place match. So everybody stay tuned. We will be back very shortly. And we're back, and we brought the players with us, Rustage and the Anime Man. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. So you have a match coming up, and I guess my first question is like, what was the preparation? Rustage? Did you get some rest?
Okay, so I didn't take a nap, but what I did do is after my game last night, I slept for 12 hours, and I woke up at 4 p.m. and yeah, and now I've been awake since then, but that's not been terrible. So I'm a bit more well rested than I was yesterday, but yeah.
Played any games between?
I played 2 practice games.
Okay. Hey, what about you, Joey? Any practice?
I did a couple of puzzles on the Chess.com thing just to like familiarize myself with more patterns. But yeah, other than that, I just got myself some good rest because, man, my brain was hurting after yesterday.
Well, Danny, I know you're probably happy to hear that the boys are using that puzzle trainer.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was giving advice to someone, sometimes one of the best things to do right before a game or a tournament is just puzzle sharpness so that you eliminate some of the other noise that can happen and just zone in on the pure tactics. But I just want to say I'm super excited to be here for the finals. We've been watching you guys. I've been watching you guys. And I wanted to ask, I mean, do you guys feel like over the last couple of weeks, do you feel like you're seeing chess differently now at a higher level than you did maybe at the beginning when we first made this announcement of the tournament arc and this whole idea? I mean, I'll ask you, Rustage, first, where you feel you've come over the last couple of weeks.
I mean, for sure. I mean, a few weeks ago, I didn't even know anything about chess, and now I can see things I could never see before. You know, I still can't see everything, but now when I look at the chessboard, I could, it sort of becomes this more. It's like magic,
right?
You can sort of see the pieces in the different spaces and where they could be, like glowy blue holograms of chess pieces and stuff, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
It sounds great. I thought you were about to start telling me you've been hearing colors and seeing sounds and things like that, but that sounds pretty mystical. I like it. I wish I could see the chessboard like that. No, I'm kidding. Good stuff.
So JT, you whispered a little final advice to your student before we went live. You wanna tell us about that?
Do you want me to say it in Japanese or do you want me to say it in the translation?
No, say it in Japanese so that Russ doesn't.
Okay.
Japanese first.
ちゃんと頑張らないと殴るよ.
And now you have to give us a false translation so that we're not giving away the secret, right?
I actually like One Piece.
One Piece is great. Love One Piece. It's my favorite manga.
Oh.
Joey, I guess the question, the follow up there is, how do you feel your advice that you've gotten over the last few days from JT has it guided you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm kind of in the same thing as Rust, where before this tournament, I'd never even touched a chess piece in my life. So yeah, the amount of appreciation I've grown towards this game and just like the intricacies of it, and obviously, thanks to JT's help with guiding me through that. But yeah, it's been really, really fun. Regardless of whoever wins or loses today, I think it's just going to be a really enjoyable time, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Well, yeah, Danny, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a follow up on that because the way you said that, Joey, was interesting to me. That you're obviously someone who's very good at what you do in a completely different field, and I always wonder when people dive into chess if there's a tipping point where sort of the fact that the lid has been blown off about how complicated it is, does that inspire you and make you just excited to kind of be at a level where you're learning so much, or is sometimes that overwhelming? And does that make you want to, does it make you want to keep playing chess after this event, or does it make you like, all right, I had my 2 weeks, now I need to take a breath and take a step back from this game? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. Like, I definitely do want to keep this momentum going even after the tournament, just because I do feel like getting good at chess is like a skill set that really will be beneficial to other things that I do and other things I might get into. And I've always loved trying new things. So yeah, just getting into this whole thing has always been just super interesting to me. But I don't know if I'm going to be as intensely playing chess after this tournament, because I don't think my brain can handle it. But
yeah,
you and me both, buddy. That's why I commentate and don't play. So I'm with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But now I have the excuse to be like, hey, you want to play a small game of chess with my friends now? Because I always felt so out of the loop when all of my friends could play chess except for me. But now I can finally like join in on them and hopefully show them a little bit of my quote unquote skills with chess. So
Yeah.
Well, Rustage, the anime man, we're gonna let you go because in a few minutes, we're gonna kick off those games. So,
Oh,
good luck to
yeah.
both of you, and we'll talk to you after the match.
no worries.
Good luck,
guys.
Joey.
Good luck, man.
And there
Have
you
fun.
have it. The players are getting set, and we are also going to get set. So we're gonna come back in just a moment with the first games of the night, the third place match between Rustage and the Anime Man. We will see you in a few moments. And we are back, and we are ready for our match between Rustage and the Anime Man to begin. Somebody's going to walk away with an extra $400 in their pocket, and they're also going to walk away with bragging rights. Right, JT, what do you think? I mean, you know, Joey's your student, but you've also had a few days of watching Rustage do his thing. I mean, is this going to be...
All right, so basically this is Konoha right here. Okay, and I am Kakashi Sensei, and Rustage, even though not my student, he is Lee, and we have Sasuke as the Anime Man, and they're fighting off. It didn't happen in the anime, but it's gonna happen here, and you're gonna watch this top 10 anime fight right now.
I have
Well, then
to...
who am I? Who am I in that thing? Like, Because I did a video where I became a Saiyan and I screamed and I reached like level 9,000 or something. So
you weren't over 9,000?
I did good with whatever I was supposed to do with the Saiyan level.
I see. Yeah.
I was about to say I had to bring Danny back on camera so that we could see him pretend to understand what you just said.
You went full. I was gonna say I literally set a bet with myself. How soon is it before Charlie pushes the anime references to the point where I feel awkward? And you literally did it in under 30 seconds. So lucky for me, the games have just begun. And no, I'm kidding. No, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to combine our chess instruction with anime references and all that.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. And the moves are coming out on the board. And I think it'd be kind of fun to go ahead and listen into Rustage first thing, just to get his opening ideas.
Let's do it.
I fucked up. Immediately I did it on the wrong side.
He already saying he made a mistake.
All right, fuck it. I meant to do it on this side. I did it on this side because I was practicing it as black. I was practicing it as black and I did it on the wrong side. Okay. I'm sure this is still a thing. I'm actually sure this is still like a thing that people do. So I'm gonna
saying he did it on the wrong side, but it's okay. He hasn't messed up yet.
Wait, he hasn't messed up. Can they hear me? I'm sorry, I don't want to overspeak it. The crowd can hear me. Sorry for breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I messed up immediately.
Yeah, go ahead, Danny. Let's actually take a look at this.
Well, it's interesting because he's not wrong that he messed up, so to speak, right? He's literally playing a King's Indian attack, on the queen side here, Charlie, right? I mean, normally if you change all these moves and it's a knight on f3 with a pawn on d3 and the bishop is fianchettoing, white has chances to do this with the pawn chain and head toward the king side. Now you're in kind of an awkward spot because this is a little bit weird to do this with the bishop pinning the knight. It makes you start wondering if there's going to be immediate consequences and tactics here if the knight comes into e4, but we'll see.
Right. And even moves like capturing on d4 first make a lot of sense, but here we might even see some awkward kind of like Kali Zukertort kind of setup. Maybe we have to see.
It could. I mean, sometimes for those tuning in, sometimes the move knight to c3 on move 1 is actually designed from a practical point of view as a weapon, because your intention is to play a center pawn on the next move that transposes into the opening you want. So you play it purely for psychological reasons, confuse them, maybe gain time on the clock. E5 can be met by E4, and then maybe you play a Vienna game. Or if they play C5, you play E4 and go into a closed Sicilian Grand Prix. Or if they play D5, you can even play D4 and go into a Verisov. Now, this is complicated transposition stuff, but I think it's important for the viewers to understand. It's not that knight c3 is a bad move necessarily. It's just that trying to play this idea with a fianchetto is not going to have the ultimate outcome that Rustage wants. That's all.
Well, and an interesting thing emerges from that, right? Maybe the accidental incorrect move order is having an effect psychologically on the anime man. So maybe we'll listen into him and see if that's the case.
Let's do it.
What? Wow, what an interesting opening. All right, I'm going to castle. Just preemptively. Oh, he castled on the queen's side. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, man, that's a really good castle, too, because he's really fucking strengthened this up.
Very complimentary.
Wow, what an interesting opening.
But I like the transition. Okay. He was playing really fast in his previous games, and now he's taking his time.
Maybe it's the soothing music.
Maybe.
Soothing music always slows me down. For the record.
I can try and aim for a double fork on his two rooks here, and he doesn't really have
identifying the fork on F2.
So I can just slide in, grab
that. Makes you proud of your student right there?
And then grab this and then retreat.
Oh, yeah.
And I've left these two diagonals open for my queen and bishop to come out just in case. Ah, see? But he won't take that because my bishop is ready to go. So...
Yep, some patience here.
And what's very interesting about this position is that normally for beginners, they tend to release the tension very early and they try to take. And here, they're just keeping the tension in the center. So it shows a lot of class and a lot of patience, and that they're actually thinking about the position.
I agree, Charlie. And even if it's not necessarily the best move, for example, to play knight g4 here on move 7, right, to go for the fork, the fact that they're recognizing the potential for the tactic is really good. And then the Rustage goes out of his way to defend it, right? They're not being neglectful of their opponent's threats. And there's so many other ways you could do things. I mean, you could develop a knight to try to defend the pawn or do other things. But I agree that it shows that they're really being very cognizant of their opponent's plans in this game. I mean, nobody is making massive blunders. They're both looking for tactics. It's a good sign, and the clocks are very even at this point.
And Rustage is doing his typical. He plays a lot with the arrows. Pretty much every time he makes a move, he's automatically going back to drawing more possibilities on his board. And let's listen in, because he likes to run through a lot of possibilities before settling on a decision.
His weakest piece?
And I think it served him well so far.
You can see his eyes shifting.
I think I blocked off my queen here by doing that, which is annoying. Maybe I shouldn't have moved that like that. It won't be one. Okay. Okay, fella. He can't come in for that again because of this. But if he goes in there, he's threatening that, and I can't move this. But again, he can't do that. So he's threatening my... Is that free?
Recognizing
That
the
might
free
be
piece.
Hold up, I'll take it. Wait, hold up. Is it free? Double check. He's not attacking... He's not defending it with anything. And when I move this, his bishop doesn't get any new lines, so I'll take it.
Okay, so exchanges. It's time.
And he found the free piece. There was a free piece on e4, and he just took the free piece. It was there. And you know my phrase, if it's free, it's for me.
That doesn't necessarily apply to all things in life.
Right.
But I'm with you. Yeah, knight e4. Black probably should have played that move earlier when the knight was still pinned to the king, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now Rustage is up a piece, and although again, like just knowing the level of players we have here, there's a lot to the game left. So we'll see how Rustage deals with the anime man coming out now, developing the bishop with a threat. But looking good for Rustage so far. I agree.
What's really interesting, I think, in this position is what happens after knight g3, and then the bishop moves somewhere. Where? Yeah, I found it. Knight g3.
Yep.
Bishop moves somewhere, and then we can capture on e5.
I wonder if Rustage sees that, because the rook has been on the same line as the queen for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And, JT, we see this with students a lot, where sometimes when you've had the possibility of taking something for so long, it just you just forget it, and it just leaves your brain. You should be rechecking tactics,
Mm-hmm.
rechecking captures on every single move, no matter what level of chess you're at.
Right.
And that's a trouble move right there. That does not recheck what the knight was doing.
Oh boy, Rustage is maybe gonna have more than just a slight advantage. Let's listen to Anime Man and see if he realizes.
Now this bishop is unprotected, so yeah. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not a good move.
Uh-oh.
That was not a good fucking move, dog. That was a shit move, dog. God damn. That was not a good move. Not a good move.
It's a good move, Bill.
I should have moved. I don't know why I didn't see the bishop there. I'm telling you, man, Rust is fucking big brain mode right now. Fuck, man.
So identifying
God,
that
those knights are
he's in
annoying.
a tough spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here comes the first check on the board, though, right? I mean,
Mhm.
this is okay. He quickly responds. This is good. The truth is, if White recognized the potential of the attack, even taking e5 to unleash the bishop on the king is probably worth the sacrifice at this point. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Russia's just brings the knight back to safety.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue, and again, if I was talking about why did he miss on bishop f5, the fact that the knight was attacking the bishop, it's because he played that move to attack a piece. And when that piece left, like sometimes when you're the aggressor in early stages of chess understanding, you forget that the counterbalance of chess that works all the time is that your opponent's threats are just as important as your own, more important, right? And that's different than every other board game. I know it sounds like I'm pointing out the obvious, but it really is a different psychology than other board games, which chess shouldn't be compared to. Charlie, you know what I'm... Oh!
Whoa. I'm sorry, guys. What was that?
He did it.
He did it.
He went, oh, let's see. Let's see. And that's an example of what I was just talking about. He was only thinking about his threats. He wasn't thinking about where his opponent's pieces were.
Oh my gosh! And let's hear.
I would love to listen to what
Yes.
Rush has to say.
I
Let's
didn't
do
know
it.
I did that so quickly. He just took my queen. I should have paused. I should have paused and thought, why did he do that?
Yeah, this is.
Another queen blunder from Daniel Rustage.
I
This
know
will
the
go down in the annals of history as
the queen is a
I'm
fast
terrible at this.
piece,
silly chess game.
but it doesn't mean you should move it that fast.
Stupid. I should have moved my horse instead. He's done that to block these squares, I guess.
And I think losing the queen ruined the morale of Rustage,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but
I'm not wanting to talk over him, but
does he realize though that because he's picked up some extra material earlier on, maybe it's not the worst thing? I mean, obviously you don't want to just give your stuff away, but is he really all that worse off?
it's crazy because he's not. Actually, this is a great example. I mean, and the evaluation of the computer tells you that he actually has currently a rook and two minor pieces for the queen. So despite when you win two pieces for free, right? Despite blundering the queen, Rusage is not actually losing. It's more the psychological blow of being a beginner player. To lose the queen to such an obvious blunder makes you, it stings a little bit. But but if he takes on e5 here, especially if he keeps the dark square bishop, JT, what do you think? Do you think he realizes the potential of that bishop and he's going to take with a knight, or do you think maybe he doesn't appreciate how important this beast is here?
I think that he will understand that maybe the f3 knight really doesn't have too much of a future, and the attack on the king might be good. So maybe taking with the knight on f3 and taking on e5, and then the pawn captures and bishop captures, and the black king is in a world of trouble. So I actually think he is going to find it because he was capable of finding a lot of great moves during his last game.
Okay. It's hard. I think that the less experienced you are at chess, the more you rely on the heavy major pieces, right? The pieces that are all powerful, that can do, Super Saiyan things. Look at me making an anime reference.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so cute now.
Ouch.
But they don't maybe always appreciate the ability to coordinate. We're like, we always say there's a tipping point with students where they can now outplay the queen with two rooks. They don't prefer the queen versus the two rooks, right? And I think it's hard because he clearly didn't appreciate there with that move c3 what his potential was of all of these pieces on the e5 square. We can already see that.
Danny, right. I'm going to give you 3.5 out of 7 Dragon Balls for that reference. That was pretty good.
Really? Yeah. Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Wait, 3.5 out of 7?
Yeah, it's half the Dragon Balls.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying, JT? I mean, the thing is, like, as a aspiring player, it takes experience before you can outmaneuver and out-coordinate an opponent versus just flexing on the easy-to-move pieces. That's why I just had a lesson with Hafthor, the world's strongest man, the mountain, and his preference to the rook over the knight and bishop was very clear because that's how it feels as a when you're learning the game, right? Mm-hmm. So it's dangerous here. I would say that despite the eval bar and despite Rustage being better, I'm going to make a bold prediction that the anime man wins this game.
Oh, ooh. And that pawn has now moved forward, undefending one of
G4 knight,
his
yeah.
extra pieces.
The knight.
This is one of the.
It's
Go ahead.
No, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's not just psychological that you need the queen. It's that they don't have the experience to outmaneuver and outcoordinate. So that's why I made that statement. Of course, blunders can happen for anyone. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So I think that the anime man won't see this because it was really hard because he thought it was defended the last move and he doesn't look at that anymore. So that's what happened in his previous games. So if he got better, he'll see that the knight is now hanging.
Yeah, and
But if
maybe let's listen in and see if we can hear that he notices or not. And he's not
Threaten the knight.
he's not holding the piece that that wins him material.
Yeah, I should threaten the knight.
He's got a little bit of extra time on his
I
clock.
should protect the knight rather than not threaten it.
And he mentions threatening the knight, but I mean the knight's free.
Yeah, the knight is free. I think he'll notice it this move. He'll notice that the knight is not defended.
Oh, actually, I just found a really sweet pin that I should probably try and do next move.
He found
If
it.
I move this knight here and take this knight, then I can swing in here,
Nice.
and that's a
He found it.
fork
He
on
found
the
it.
two rooks.
He
So
found
that'll
the free
be a
piece
really nice trade.
and more.
Yep.
You know what? I think I'm going to
And
do
Rustage still didn't stop it.
that. Now he's probably going to move this rook down, or he's going to see that I'm going to move to f2 next
Curious
and
of
put a rook
Rustage's
here.
reaction to that if he realizes now.
Yeah, let's see if we can switch over to Rustage.
Yeah. He's very focused on his opponent's threats now because he's so psychologically burdened by the queen blunder. And I think that was already
He could
happening earlier.
have done
if I
that
had
for
to
ages.
guess.
I don't know why I didn't take it before. He could have done that. I don't know why I didn't move my knight earlier. He could have done that for so long. I don't want him to pincer my guys.
Rustage only with 2 minutes now on his
Still got to
clock.
protect that though. So
Uh-oh.
that's the only thing protecting that.
That's a
pawn.
free bishop.
There's
This is
nothing threatening
what
that
the
pawn.
anime man
I'm
saw.
gonna do that to block that.
And again, it's the queen's ability psychologically and for players of this ability to really flex. And I'm not surprised the direction this game's going.
Rustage may not see that bishop is falling.
Yeah, maybe the attention's somewhere else. Maybe he's just trying to pile up pressure on f2.
He's doing that, then I'm gonna move
And
my
apparently
pawn up,
so is the anime
and-
man.
Mm-hmm.
What's he threatening? He's attacking the pawn as well there. So he takes, I take, and then he does that. This will at least delay him because I put him in
He
check.
found the check. Whether it's useful or not, I don't know. I wouldn't take that pawn. I would just say, hey, that pawn is blocking the h file, and I'm gonna just leave that alone. Thank you.
And he does. And he does. That's a great point.
Well, that wishful
Is there some way that I
thinking
can-
seems like it paid off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is kind of, you know, the direction a game will go with a big piece versus little pieces. And White was still totally winning despite the queen loss earlier, but really not surprised that this is where it's heading. And it would take a blunder in return. The anime man Joey would have to return the favor here and make some sort of massive blunder of his lady, I believe, in order for this game to go back the other way. And I just don't expect that. I think he's going to see your idea, JT. I think he's going to take on E2. And are you proud of your student?
I think he's gonna take on f2
Okay.
because he's been trying to do that all game, and I don't see
Right.
the reason why he wouldn't do it right now because he's focused on this one plan.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, this is hard. And you know, the sign that Rustage went for that H pawn kind of thrusting over there was
Oh,
backs up.
backs
That
up.
gives
Okay.
that gives White some life. it just shows that I think Rustage like was getting kind of desperate after the queen was lost and didn't realize the full potential of his pieces. But we'll see. I mean, there's still life here, right? There's enough material on the board that anything could happen.
Right. And it gets quite scary in the middle game because you don't really know what to do.
See, I like that move C4. Again, if we have to forget the fact that we know the bishop is hanging, we can't forget it. Yeah,
instantly.
I was gonna say that bishop's been hanging for 5 moves, so we have to assume maybe Anime Man doesn't see it. I was wrong. So
can we see what the Anime Man is thinking? Because
yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
What are you gonna do, Rust?
He sacrificed
He's
the
probably
music.
going to. His best move is to move the rook up here, because he knows I can't take this knight because this pawn is here. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Actually, he protected it. Wow, that was a really good move.
And Rustage has 40 seconds. The Anime Man has 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's huge.
But Joey can force another exchange here, can't he?
Okay, I think I might just.
Whoa!
Oh, that's what I was wondering. What happened?
I think I'll just retreat. For the time being.
Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead of the stream delay because I'm watching it.
Oh shit! I did not fucking see that, dog.
Commentator's curse.
I did.
Yeah, the commentator's curse.
No, that's not on me.
No.
That's not on me. That's on my
television again.
It's on the stream delay, which is good for all fair play reasons.
Oh fuck me! I did not see that.
But actually,
I did not
this might
fucking
be very
see that.
interesting because there are a lot of dark squares that are very weak, and you have the dark square bishop.
It's true. It's true. Again, it's right back. But like I said, I think it would take a queen sack. I said it would take a blunder of the lady for Rustage to come back, and that's what happens. And it is still unclear. But now I'm just going to go back to favoring the major pieces. I mean, even if from a practical point of view, Black has a good center and a very, very nice dark square bishop.
Right.
At this level, the rooks are just now the rook is trapped.
Rustage has some new life, but not a lot of time to spend on it.
Yep. No, good point. We forgot about that.
Let's listen in and see if he. Oh boy, this is gonna get interesting for sure. Let's listen in.
Threatened that. Fair enough. Still just gonna take.
And there is a double attack on the board. Uh-oh.
Didn't see it.
That's a trade, isn't it?
Still trapped. On G5.
Okay, I don't have any time to think if the trade is good or not.
Yeah.
It probably isn't. Oh no, my rook's stuck.
It's
I can't go there. I
15
can't go
seconds
there. I can't go there. Whoops. Whoops.
He's coming under 10 seconds. Oh, and he made a move just in time.
There's a check. There's a check.
It's lots of things.
My rook is completely stuck.
The rook can't move.
Now.
Yep, and he finds the best move, the fork.
Mama Jamma.
Yes.
That's good, actually. Unsticks my rook.
Oh, he takes the rook.
Thank you for that. Maybe I should have moved the other way. Nope. It unsticks my rook, but I still fucking lose it. I thought I had a comeback there, but I didn't. And it's because I was making all my moves quickly, because I was running out of time.
Yes, be careful of the passer. Very nice, identifying the passer.
All right.
He does have the passer, though. I mean, okay, stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then, okay, never mind. Never mind. He's giving up the passer.
Oh yeah, no, he could just take it. No, I forget the king. The king can actually take.
I've actually gone over a king and pawn endgames with Joey, so I think this is an easy win for him.
Really?
Yes.
Because I will just time out.
Okay, Rustage realizing he has to move fast. He is building time on his clock, and he's also maybe realizing he needs to escort that on. But it's going to be
Just
too little too late.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yep. And we have also gone over queen and king checkmate, so I think, yeah.
Seems like a coach. Seems like a coach did his due diligence there. I love that. I mean, I'm hoping you're not jinxing yourself and
me too.
Setting up a stalemate here, but you.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That makes it easy.
And promotes with checkmate. So one game In the books, Anime Man takes the first game of the match. He's stoked, and the second game will start right away. Rustage will be in a must-win situation because all the Anime Man needs is a draw out of the next game at the very least to clinch third place in tournament arc.
I said when I came on in our pre-show that all the matches up to this point were 2-0 in favor of what seemed to be kind of the clearly stronger player in hindsight, not taking anything away from those who lost. But I have a feeling this might be different. I think that Rustage might get the W here, and we might have our first 1-1 tie. The format similar to PogChamps, which an event that happened in June and is preparing to happen again. I don't know. I think Rustage really let that one get away. Something about the way they played makes me think Rustage is the stronger player, but let some things go to waste. So we'll see. Okay, at this level, anything can happen, and I think that that's the excitement.
And he's playing really good moves. The Anime Man playing good moves quickly.
Rustage now has the opening he intended to get the first time, by the way.
Yep.
Instead of the reverse, right?
Well, Rustage talked about how he felt like he plays better as black, and whenever I went to review his games a few weeks ago before his coaching session, he seemed like he does do better as black. So let's see if this is translating into some confidence for him to get black in the second game.
Yep.
That's not protected by anything but the queen. If I can put another attacker on that square to attack that square, I'd be happy. Be a happy boy. Oh, it's defended by this. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do that then. I always blunder early, so I'm with my queen, so I'm just move rook there. No, that unprotects the pawn. It doesn't. I got it with the king, but it's still annoying.
And I do like all the moves that both players are playing. They're playing in the center. They have the two knights, two bishops out.
Should have done that last time. But,
not talking as much in the after losing.
I need to focus. I'm on like self-destructive mode right now because I blundered really badly.
So he's checking in on himself. He's reminding himself to slow
I
down.
just need to think about things now.
I would like to see what Joey's thinking here.
Yeah, let's switch off and listen to the Anime Man for a sec.
He's either going to take with the horse or the pawn here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, he took it with the pawn. That's okay. Then I'll take with the horse. And now he has to take with the horse, and then we trade queens. Boop. Queen trade! Queen trade hype.
Joey's happy about that.
Yeah, you know what, Rust? Let's make this game interesting, dude. Let's make this game interesting.
And this
Let's
might
make this
be
game
our first
fun.
game that goes into the tiebreak. Let's see.
I'm hype. Nah, that's a bad move there. That's not something I was
did call the
expecting.
tiebreak. I'm sorry.
That's like a commentator's curse there again.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I feel like just looking at the bracket, there's no way we're not going to get at least a match that's 1-1 and we head to a tiebreak. And I think Rustage is not taking anything away from your students, right? And we all love Joey, the anime man, but I just feel like Rustage is the stronger player right now. I just really do. And I think that that game got away from him psychologically with that queen blunder. But
well, look,
I
in
think
this
he's
second game,
definitely-
maybe you take away his queen. He can't blunder it, right?
can't blunder it anymore.
Trade
If
it
the
off
queens are
early.
traded equally, now we're good. Now we're good.
Now Rustage can really play.
Right.
And actually, we have done some bullet practice for Joey, so he's used to the bullet format, which is 1-0. So I think the 3-0 section might be in his favor.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, that's as a coach who's working with guys for PogChamps right now, working with Finch in Hand, Easy with Aces, and Haftor and some others. I haven't thought a lot about that, putting them in a tiebreaker scenario, but that's an interesting tip. I might think about that just in case, because it might pay off.
And it begs the question, has Rustage practiced any fast time controls?
Right. I'm gonna guess no. I mean, based on how he managed his time in the end of that last game, guys. After the anime and blundered his queen back, if Rustage had more time on his clock, he might have been okay. But I feel like Rustage is a little bit of the slower player so far from what I've seen.
He likes to calculate everything. He likes his arrows. He likes highlighting squares.
Mhm.
And the enemy man is just like, I just want to have fun. Let's just do this.
He also
Who
likes
needs-
to have a fan blowing in his hair. We should definitely get a zoom in on that.
I think maybe that's a requirement from his hair product sponsors to get that ocean breeze going, you know?
Oh man.
So I want to ask you guys about the current position. So obviously the eval is saying black is doing really well here. Maybe you can point out a couple of the reasons why.
Well, JT, why don't you go first?
Sure. So right now, black is controlling the only open file, right? And they do have the 2 bishops, and a beautiful square for that light squared bishop on c8 is to go to e6 and control a very long diagonal from a2 all the way to g8. Also, the dark squared bishop, it's already on probably the best square on the board for the bishop to be on, which is g7, cutting the board in half on the dark diagonal. His knights have easy outposts, and we talked about that before, where the pawns really can't attack them. And the other rook has easy access. Maybe we can double the rook and on the d file and really control even more. Or maybe there could be on the c file, and we can play c5 for the pawn break.
I was going to say, you went full coaching mode there. You forgot to point out the most obvious reason black is winning is he's up 2 pieces.
I'll do that.
But I love that. That was awesome. So that was like the best like clippable moment ever. I'm like sitting here like, that's great. But also black's up 2 pieces. That's why he's winning.
Right.
And so yes, the open file is great. And I think that actually in hindsight, that last move, knight takes h2, gives back one of the pieces, but doesn't change that black is winning. He probably could have moved his knight instead and maybe did a double attack on the bishop and the knight on c3. But either way, great stuff, great coaching. I love it. And I was going to say that really the most fundamental thing here is that black won a couple pieces earlier, and without a blunder to come back, one of the things that makes chess different than other games for players that are new is that in theory, if you just do your job once you're up that kind of material, you should win every chess game you play. Right? It's not like other sports where you see great comebacks of teams down by 25 points because they don't also get penalized with less men and a higher rim to shoot at, right? They always have a chance. It's always equal footing. In chess, if black does his job here, there shouldn't be a chance for white. Like, just don't blunder your own rook. Get your pieces involved and you have more of them. You know, so that's just I think it's the right psychology to put yourself in when you're on material. Just play simple chess. Don't let your opponent's threats win the day.
Well, the anime man has to be in problem-solving mode right now, and maybe we can even spectate in and catch him, you know, guessing about what might happen in a tiebreak situation.
Knight up? Oh. Ooh. That was a really good move. Shit, man. Well, I can still threaten your rook. Oh, actually, hold on.
8 minutes on the clock. He has a lot of time he can spend here. Just to make sure he's not making simple mistakes.
That's fine. He won't take that because then I'll just take it. So I got to protect this pawn.
putting pressure on the pinned piece. You guys know
I
what
can
that
also
is.
use this bishop to threaten. Oh, actually, shit.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing there.
A little bit of PP on the PP.
That's right.
Oh.
And Rustage is basically making Joey's moves for him by playing some forcing
He's probably
chess.
going to take that, and then I can just take with the king.
But it should be okay.
And then we trade pieces, but he's technically still ahead in pieces, so it's more of an advantage for him. Unless he's going to move this rook back.
Make some trades.
Understanding that he is down in this scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, he can identify that he's in a tough spot. But he's not giving up.
No, and Rustage is not putting it away yet. I mean, even though that last move, instead of trading on G2 first, Black could have made this move knight G4 check. I saw someone in Twitch chat saying that earlier, and the knight could have come to G4 check for a while. So you're right, Twitch chat, and that might cost Rustage, because doing so would have been like a free move. When you can get a check that brings another piece into the game, a lot of times that's a good idea, right? And now look, yes, Rustage is still winning. He's still up a piece. But if you're watching that eval bar and that number from a few moves ago, this is no longer the nearly plus double-digit advantage for Black. This could get messy.
Mm-hmm.
So, JT, you've been sharing all these coaching things you did with Joey, the anime man. Did you guys talk about the right psychology when you're losing, right? A lot of coaches focus on winning, right? How to convert, which is good because you want your students to be able to control what they can control, which is win-winning positions. And as a coach, I always worked on that. Control what you can control, which is when you're winning, you win. You can't always control that you sit down from someone who just kicks your ass because they're better. Let's just put it bluntly, right? But I wonder, like, did you talk any psychology? Like, hey, how do you deal with a tough situation?
Right. And so actually that's what I kind of put into my the bullet portion of that. I said there are going to be some times where it's out of your control and you just need to play the best moves that are on the board now. Don't worry about what you've lost. Don't try to get that material back. Fine, if you see a tactic, great. But don't try to force your hand if you don't need to. Just say, okay, what do I have now? What can I do now? And go from there.
Yeah, it's actually really good advice to have short-term memory loss. As a coach, like working with people to get them to focus on the position in the now, because very often, like we saw that game with Rustage last game, yes, he blundered, but he was actually still winning if he could remove his emotion and focus on the now, right? Very often, the first mistake you make in chess is not the move that's losing you the game. It's the mistakes that follow. And that's good advice.
He's another fork. He finds these quick. Quick.
Oh my gosh. And he's right back in it. I was giving the psychology advice. I wasn't looking at what's in front of me. Man, Rustage has got to be.
Is that the opposite of the commentator's curse? Is a commentator's blessing? Let's listen in on Rustage right now.
Now he can just take my goddamn rook. That's so annoying. And that was never an option anyway, because he would just take it. I take the bishop. Oh no, I could have. Oh no, bishop's better. I think bishop's better. I could just take his knight, but I think taking the bishop was better.
He's got a time disadvantage, but there's still plenty of time. Especially with the increment.
Yeah,
Jerry's
he has to be
so
very
smart,
careful
dude.
not to take that pawn on e5. Playing f6. Wow.
Nothing protecting that.
In a way, I kind of like that he draws arrows after making the move, so he remembers why he did it.
Crazy move, dude. I can just move my pawn up to protect it.
Yeah. I think Rustage with his Giga brain definitely
in some
teaching us
wild
something
direction.
right now.
And I want you guys to illustrate something, because I think this is something that when I discovered it the first time, I was blown away by it. This bishop and pawn unit on G and H files, it's like almost indestructible, right?
Yeah, and one of the big things is it's an anchor, so they protect each other. The pawn moves forward to attack / protect his own piece, and the bishop moves backward to protect / attack his own pawn. So when you can build things around an anchor like that, you have something, you know, that's sort of a focal point, you know, to bring pieces to. If Black were an advanced player here, this is totally unclear position. The bishop can come to e5 with check. The knight could get involved with something like knight to e6 and also help attack the king. So, and c3's hanging. This game could go either way. I have zero clues to make a prediction now. I thought we'd have a tie, 1-1. I'm gonna be a little tie after this match. But no, I don't know what's gonna happen here. This is wild.
I would love to listen into the anime man and see what he's calculating, because this is actually a very rough position for him. He just came back.
Yes.
Is he still in comeback mode? You know, I would love to know that.
It's been a roller coaster. Let's listen.
I know you don't. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's okay, though. Oh, let's check. That's okay. Let's just take that. Then he'll probably just take this. That's fine too. Oh, I can't
Wow,
go
what
there.
a strong move.
But now I can promote.
What a
E5.
strong move.
He's already talking about promotion, but you know,
Yeah.
you need to coordinate in order to do
I have
that right
three
now.
pawns
Yeah,
on
he-
this side. He's only
You
got
play
one.
96,
And I've still got my rook.
trading.
And I'm fucking 3 minutes ahead. 4 minutes ahead.
He's happy about the time advantage.
Yeah.
Come on, you know you want to take it. If you're not going to take it, I'm going to take this pawn and promote.
But that bishop pair,
Because
that's
his
powerful.
bishops are in a really weird position now where they're kind of too far on this end of the map that they can't really protect the pawns on this side. That's what I thought he was going to do. Okay, and then I'll just take this. And now his bishop's in danger again.
Identifying that the bishop on e6 is hanging.
And if this pawn decides to like start sliding in, then I can just move the rook back.
Joey's looking at all these sequences. It's impressive. He's playing very resilient.
Okay, threaten this
You should
bishop
be careful.
again.
There's a pin here. And he finds it. Ooh.
See if Joey realizes.
The Giga Brain.
Okay. Oh shit. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna take that then. Start promoting.
Okay, interesting choice.
He's up a piece.
But just don't be too fast with those
I
pawns.
just
They
have to
need a
get
friend.
rid of this pawn.
Oh, he can catch it. Oh, King F4
And then
was
he's
slightly
pretty
better.
much screwed.
Oh.
Wow.
This
So
has been wild here. First of all, Joey does a great job giving insight into his thought process. We should just say that. And what's funny is actually Rustage missed the win. The best thing to do when the rook was actually pinned was to just leave it frozen and start pushing the h-pawn right away, and then Black would have been winning by force.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen. If Black makes the right move here to bring up the king first, then Black is still winning. But if he pushes the pawn, it's going to be a draw, I think.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Rustage just found that move.
Mini Dvoretsky.
Mini Dvoretsky? Man, I worked with Mark Dvoretsky. And by the way, even more props to Rustage because he found that move with little time on the clock. I know it's a choice between our commentary here and listening in there, but I'd be curious what his thought process would have been there. But it's been look at his technique here. He clearly recognized, everyone, that the bishop was perfect where it was. Like,
yes,
that's just huge.
covering the promotion square for both of them.
Yep, that he didn't need to do anything. And now, short of some horrible blunder, it's an easy win. You could put the bishop on a8, which might be something he does to sort of feel warm and cozy, right? Just run away. In theory, oh, okay, he goes there. That's the wrong way to do it. Now you're inviting the king up with Tempe. But, yeah, okay, great idea.
Nice.
Look at the patience here by Rustage. Guys,
Wow.
we're going to have a 1-1 tie.
Wow, let's listen in to Rustage as he figures out how to wrap this up.
Yeah, but we have to be careful. That H pawn it's a little bit close, that h6 pawn. So if you can trade off.
I have way less time to work
very
with than he
nice.
does. So in a position like this, he's in a better position.
He wins the race. Yep, have to take that.
He can't go down like that. But I can still just block it. Please resign, Joey. I'm really...
Asking Joey to resign.
Maybe he's not confident in how to
Yeah,
checkmate.
I mean,
I'm going to start trying to push this guy over to the corner. I don't know how to do it with a bishop.
Moving the bishop away is not ideal. Needs to use the queen. There we go.
nice. Limit the space that the king has to travel.
That's good.
Okay.
All right, so he's stuck here. I have to find a way to block him off, or he can't do anything.
This is intense. He's only
I
got a minute and a
could
half.
Do this. Oh no, because then he'll get a queen. I could do this, and then move my queen down. Hold up. If I move here and then move my queen down, would that be a checkmate? Not much he could do about that. Not a draw.
I'm so nervous.
Joey offers a
Would
draw.
that be a checkmate if I move my
Rustage
queen?
declines.
Would that be a checkmate? Hold up, let me double check. If I move my queen here, he wouldn't be able to take it. He wouldn't be able to move.
Wow,
there.
binding.
Oh,
He wouldn't be able to move there.
And let's listen as he.
Thank God.
wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
Now we've got to go to the 3-minute game.
The relief, and yes, you're right. You now have to play 3-0. There is no increment to
And
save
by the
you.
way, no rest for the weary. Whoever's moderating our match behind the scenes, way to go. That is a quick start. We didn't even have a chance to debrief that. What great technique, by the
Wow.
way,
Wow.
from Rustage. In the end, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all of those games could be totally wild with a lot of back and forth. But guys, I know it's a weird thing. Normally, I'm full of commentators' curse, but I feel like I've had a pretty good ear to the grindstone with this one. I feel like I've had a good feel for what's going to happen, and it's a 1-1 tie. Rustage is back on the white pieces, and okay, we got to wait to see what happens out of the opening here. He did go back to his knight c3 King's Indian attack, which is a little awkward.
Right.
No.
I think just here, I think he's going to castle and he's just going to be fine. Yep. Great. You know, get all your pieces active. This is what we talked about.
Yeah. Well, objectively, Charlie, Black is just doing great here. I mean, like,
Right.
this is why you don't play a King's Indian attack with knight to c3 and bishop. Oh,
Oh, he made the same mistake. No.
not
But it's okay.
anymore.
But it's
Just bring
okay.
the knight into e4 was better.
I think c5 and then d4. Okay, well,
Yeah.
fine. Never mind.
Yeah,
Please
he's
do not-
losing himself a little bit, which is, again, it's an interesting question. Like, is there a hangover from the last loss, right? He maybe
Mhm.
feels like he had the match and let it go. And now he's kind of lost himself a little bit.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, Rustage. No.
Oh.
No.
It's protected by
Yeah.
this. It's not. I blundered so badly. Of course I did. I didn't have time to think. I have 3 minutes.
Joey must be stoked here as well.
That's not even a trade, is it?
Wow, I'm
It's not even
speechless.
good.
Okay,
If we
he's
run
not
out-
giving
if-
up.
This is going to be lost by timeout and he'll win. Let me just move quickly and not think about it as much.
He's just decided he's going to move quickly and he's going to keep fighting. Now, if they
I say that
draw,
and then I'm still not moving quickly
they
enough.
will play another game.
I'm like,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
just do that.
Wow. Strong moves. Really strong moves.
What would he
Seriously.
do now?
I'm so happy I played that bullet session with him.
Get the file. I had a free rook, but he didn't see it.
Up. Little
Don't
too
take that.
quickly there.
That's fine, because I'm stupid. I can't take because of that. Whoops. I don't know. It's too fast. I'm like, when it comes to speed, dude, he's got me. He's got me
Wow.
good. How can he do these things so fast? Dude is killing me on speed.
He is killing him, and my goodness, the anime man must be feeling pretty hot right now. He's got all the material.
Am I responding to that? Or
Are you still overwhelmed?
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go to the anime and see how he feels about that.
Oh no. Why did I do that? That was a bad move. That was a bad move. I should have moved the rook. Oh, I should have moved the rook. Shit in my asshole.
Oh my goodness. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. They're just giving each other it's like Christmas.
But I think regardless of the board, JT's training and bullet paid off because look at the clock.
Oh, yeah.
There's a beautiful move to clean this up. Oh.
I just want him to create some loot, please. Yes.
Let me think.
Please make some
Let me think.
But careful about that back rank mate. There you go. Protecting your king so it can escape.
Yeah, that was huge. Especially at this level.
Oh my gosh. 20 seconds left for Restage.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I think we're going to stay here. Okay, now rook e2 would have been cool to just get those rooks off the board, right?
Shit. Okay. Take that,
Speechless.
thank you.
Restage not realizing you could have taken that. And Restage is feeling it. It's on. He's gonna win on time. Close. And let's listen in as the anime man.
Let's go! Let's go! Third place, baby! Trash taste, top 3. Let's fucking go! I didn't let my boys down.
Wow.
I didn't let my boys down. Boys, I did it.
He did it. He did it for the Trash Taste top 3. There it is. Anime Man wins 3rd place. Amazing. Amazing.
The happiness of his coach is felt very clearly above me. But seriously, that was great from all around. And I think that Rustage clearly didn't have the same level of comfort in the blitz, because regardless of what happened on the board, and even on the board in the end, the anime man is totally winning here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of that, the clock situation is a massive difference. So I'll give a shout out to you, JT, Charlie, whatever we're calling you. I guess JT for Japanese tutor.
Yep. That's fine.
Well, I'd love to show these players this last game if we can. So let's get them on the broadcast. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the Anime Man and Rustage. Stay tuned. And we're back with the players. Wow, guys, I just want to say that was so exciting. The first tiebreak we've seen in the entire tournament. I mean, wow. I'm exhausted. How about you?
I think I blooded my queen 3 times. I did. I blooded my queen 3 times. And it will forever haunt me to this day. I don't think I'll ever stop. I hate queens. You know what? Queen Victoria, fuck her. Worst, terrible. No, I'm just blind. And especially in that blitz game, I was trying to move as fast as possible because in the blitz game, I was just under the impression that it's going to be really difficult to get the checkmate. So I'm going to just try and win on time. So I just started moving moves really quick and I blooded my queen. So, and then Joey won on time anyway. So.
Nah, I'm honestly just happy that we got to even show a blitz game. Like I was really worried that we wouldn't even be able to show a blitz game in this tournament, but
yeah, I called it. I said it would happen.
Yeah, I think I did too. Like earlier on, I said I really hope we go into a blitz game because that would be so hype, and it was.
Well, Rustage, did you play any blitz in preparation for that? Because JT was talking about in some of his training with Joey here that they actually did practice some bullet blitz. Did you have any time to play the faster time controls or
no.
not? Okay,
no, I have not played anything. Actually, that's a lie. I did play like a 1-minute game once, and I kind of just moved my pieces randomly and won by timeout.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't get any blitz practice, which is my burden. I didn't practice hard enough, and Joey deserved that win.
No, and you're very humble about it, and yeah, I mean it was great. It was great. I was just asking because I think it's a good sign that there's opportunities to work on that, right? Because I think you clearly struggled a little bit more with the time management, right? You felt that you were down on the clock in almost every game, right?
Yeah, I was always down on. I'm really bad because I try and think things. If I don't think things through, then I blunder my queen. It's annoying that I blundered my queen in the first game as well because I felt like I was winning until I did.
You were, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, maybe you want to take us through that and show some of those moments where the advantages started to slip?
So just before he does that, I actually threw so that we could get Trash Taste plus top 3 because I knew everyone would like that. I just wanted to do it for the fans, the audience that love Trash Taste. That's the reason why.
The check is in the mail, right, Joey?
Yeah.
So, Rustage, can you see the position on the board here?
Yes.
So you were doing great. In fact, you were up 2 pieces. And we had been highlighting on the show at the time that a lot of common mistakes at this level are we make an attacking move, and it's different than other board games with chess because to win Monopoly, your goal is to focus on your plan, roll your dice and focus on your plan. Chess really does challenge that where everything that your opponent is doing is equal to you. So when they take you, for example, your first instinct is, well, I'm going to have to take back, right?
Every other time this has happened, I thought it through, and
right.
and it's the one time I didn't be like, why did he do that? And
right. Okay, that's great, and I think so. But what's funny is you said that were you winning before the queen? This is a rare case where I'm going to show you that because you had won 2 pieces and actually the rook, you were actually still technically winning even after the queen. I think that you got a little bit psychologically tilted. You decided to rush the H pawn, which made sense because you were like, well, I got to go after his king, right? That was your mindset.
Yeah.
But your beast here on B2, the beast of a bishop, if you had seen
him.
Yeah, if you had kept this guy opening up, if you had found more ways to get this guy involved.
I blocked him because I panicked. I'm sorry. I don't have a strong enough mental for chess because I make a move like losing my queen and then I immediately get into self-destruct mode and I just kind of want to like get underneath blankets and cry for the next few hours.
No, that's how chess players feel too, man. No, don't sell yourself short. That's a normal thing. But we were literally talking about the show. I said, I think that Rustage lost his queen and kind of lost himself along the way because you didn't realize your position was actually still pretty good. And that's a hard thing to recover from. But okay, Joey, not taking anything. I mean, you also played fantastically. And I think that as it went on, you showed in some ways that your work with Charlie paid off. You felt like you were the more practical player in some ways. You were making sure you played fast, up on the clock. And let me ask you, Joey, was that part of your goal? Was just like, hey, I'm going to make sure I'm up on time in every game?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think, especially with like the 2 games I've seen Rustage playing, like he definitely does like to think things through, and that's that just leaves me more of an opportunity to at least get up on time to put even more pressure on him. And with that like B2 bishop as well, I saw that B2 bishop was trapped the entire time. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to take advantage of him in any way, then I have to make sure that B2 bishop never comes out. And
Joey had some huge brain moves. He was so smart. Like, his brain is on another level. He opened his third eye. He was crazy.
Yeah, we're both equal. I think we played a really equal match.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. And guys, I just realized that this is it. This is the last time we're gonna have you on the show. I mean, I've gotten so used to seeing you every day, and now it's over. But I you guys not only obviously make steady content on YouTube, but you also both stream regularly on Twitch. So the people watching the show right now can keep an eye on both of you, right? I mean,
yeah.
So any final thoughts, Joey? Let's start with you. What was tournament art like, and are we gonna see you playing chess in maybe a future event?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys decide to set up a tournament arc part 2, then yeah, definitely I'd be down. I mean, again, as I said in the pre-game interview, I'd never played a game of chess in my life, but just within these last couple of weeks, I've grown so much more of an appreciation towards this game, and I'm definitely nowhere near as good as I think I can get to with some more practice and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely want to like keep that going, and yeah, I don't know, the whole learning session just from 0 to basically now was just so much fun, and really an eye opener for me. Yeah.
And Rustage, we saw actually a grandmaster on Twitter reach out to you earlier today and offer some of his time.
I'm trying to learn.
You gonna take him up on that?
Yeah, of course. I already have. He taught me that new opening that I used in this game, but I used it wrong. I did it on the wrong side both times.
Who is the grandmaster?
He goes
Danish.
on Chess Weeb on
Danish Boros.
Yeah.
Who's a huge anime fan.
The thing is, I was using the same 2 openings, and I didn't want to keep doing that because I knew I talked about them in my post-match interview, and I knew that Joey would know about them. However, I did it on the wrong side. I was supposed to do it on king side and I did it on queen side for some reason, and that immediately knocked my confidence when I did it.
To be fair, I did not know the 2 openings that you were doing. So both those openings you did, I was just kind of crapping myself.
I don't even know if doing it on queen side is even like an opening that people do. That might have just been like a bunch of mistakes, like bam, bam, bam. But yeah,
Well, don't get discouraged, and don't lose your confidence, man. And seriously, that's not just the politically correct thing to say. But no, seriously, I think there were a lot of things you guys both did that over the last couple of weeks. Just watching you guys on your streams and seeing you grow in the event here, it's pretty awesome when you see people that are smart and motivated take to the game. You guys get better really fast, and I think sometimes it's easy to get overwhelmed, and remember the negative moments, but you did play the opening on the wrong side of the board, and we did highlight that, and we highlighted that if you had fixed that, it would have been probably totally different. But at the same time, you got really interesting positions, and really, like you said, it was the queen lost the game, not the opening, right? And I think that you guys have a lot of.
But I wouldn't have had my queen there to lose if I did the opening.
That's true. That's true. But then it's like, why do any of us even exist on the planet, right? The chicken or the egg,
Yeah.
So, but you did good, man, and it was a pleasure to have you guys play. Give us our first tiebreaker of the event.
Can I quickly say thank you to everyone watching who has been really nice to me and not told me that I'm terrible and I suck and stuff, because I know that I do, but I appreciate everyone's support, and I'm glad people are watching and stuff. And I hope to be able to come back next time if this isn't a thing that happens again.
Well, it has been our pleasure, I'm going to say, having both of you. And I do want to congratulate you both for making it to the top 4 of Tournament Arc. We're going to let you go, and we'll be looking for you.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Great work.
Bye.
And there you have it. We now have a final to enjoy, and we're actually going to do a little pre-game conversation with Gigguk and CDawg as well. And
I didn't know that. Okay.
I have a feeling that this might be spicy, guys, because I think these two have wanted this match for the month that we have been planning this event, and they both earned their way to it, and we are going to hear from them before the games begin. So stick around. We'll be back very shortly. All right, guys. Promise fulfilled. We have the players, and I don't know. Just start throwing verbal hands. Let's go.
Why would I need to when I'm already going to win? That's come on.
I mean, like, I'm gonna scare the shit out of Connor so much that he's gonna have to blame it on food poisoning. What can I say?
We'll see.
Connor's voice right there, like, why would he need to when he's already gonna win, sounded like the best bad guy of an anime. Like, he just, like, you've got this, like, smooth delivery, like, you're just so confident. It's scary.
Exactly.
So, Connor, I didn't realize that we offered extra cash for best dressed.
Well, I mean, I thought, I should be the true villain of the show and bring in a JoJo suit. So yeah, this is an anime suit. Yeah.
This is one of the famous JoJo suits that you've got.
Thought I would dress to impress,
Are you getting yourself another one after you defeat Gigguk, or Gigguk, is that not even going to be on the menu?
Well, I shouldn't have to celebrate, right? It should be expected, right? So,
how I feel it is that Connor's the final boss of this tournament arc, and
Right.
if I'm the protagonist, I need to take down the final boss.
We'll see.
And
I want good games either way.
Yeah, I just want some good games.
But JT, this is an interesting moment for you because you coached both of these players all the way to the final, and now I'm telling you that you have to choose.
Oh wow.
Sophie's choice. How can you do that to the man?
Well, I'm gonna be a bit vain here. Connor did shout me out on Twitter, so I'm gonna go with Connor.
That's what I thought.
That's all it takes.
Well,
That's all it takes.
As a good villain would, bribes everyone, right? Like,
as the guy that said that he picked Connor to start, but I admitted off stream just now that I've been watching Gigguk more than any of the other participants. I'll say that regardless of what happens, Gigguk, it's been awesome to see where it goes, and I don't know what's gonna happen here. I mean, Connor's the villain who needs to be defeated for a reason, right? He is the favorite, but I can't wait to see what you guys give us over the next hour. So,
all right.
I mean, it should be interesting. We've played a few times before IRL.
Pretty close games.
It's been pretty close games. So we hope we can bring that level to the stream and to the tournament.
Well, we won't waste any more time. We'll let you get ready because in a few minutes we're going to start your game. So good luck, and we will see you after the match. And one of you will be Tournament Arc Champion. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, guys.
And there they go. They're going to get ready. We're going to get ready. Another speedy commercial break brought to you by Toilet Paper. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. We'll be right back. And we're back. And the first game of the tournament arc final starts now. Oh my gosh, here we go.
Let's go. I'm super pumped. By the way, they delivered on that trash talk, especially Connor. That's why he was my fave. I love that villain role. I loved it. That was awesome.
JT, you've got to be excited to watch how this turns out, huh?
Oh man, yeah, Trash Taste top 3 already, so it's like I've already won. It's great. But let's watch
No,
this game.
seriously, you did a great job as a coach, Charlie. I mean, it's not really a competition of the coaches in that way, but you did a great job. I mean, like they did. You know, I was very impressed with the way Joey, the anime man, handled the blitz. And so, if you continue to give us insights in terms of what you gave these two guys, I'll be interested to see what happens. But look at the scotch, by the way. The scotch.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Can you tell us like the main ideas in the scotch?
With pleasure. Oh my god. Oh, people have only ever said, Danny, quit the scotch. Danny, can you tell us how bad the scotch is? Danny, it's a drink, not an opening. Oh my god. I'll give you the main ideas of the scotch all night. Okay, so the main point is you're opening the center rather than putting pressure on the center with moves like bishop b5 and a Lopez, bishop to b5 and a Lopez, or bishop c4 and an Italian. The whole point of the scotch is to be aggressive and open the center early. And this is the kind of line right here, wow, that can really be good for Gigguk, because they always say don't bring your queen out early, right, Charlie? We've told our students that for years. But if you can put the most powerful lady on the board in the middle of the board and she can't be attacked, why would you not want your queen in the center, right? That's the problem with the move that CDawg played. He took on d4, which is not a good move here, because you don't want to bring the most powerful piece on the board into the middle of the board unless you have a way to attack her. And here black doesn't. And so white should have just taken the free pawn. For some reason, Gigguk didn't do that. But he's still in good shape even without taking the free pawn, as the computer shows. White is already clearly better here in a scotch. Good for me.
Yeah, and are we gonna hear some frustration if we listen in on CDawg and about having to figure this out so early? Let's listen in. He's taking a deep think here.
God, this is a fiesta.
You might be right, Danny. That queen in the middle of the board might be frustrating him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's calculating his maniacal evil plan.
A good chin stroke is 101 for evil geniuses.
So one of the things that I told Gigguk is that, oh wow,
Interesting. Interesting. Oh!
Oh boy.
He
Oh my
covered
God,
his own
gave me a
mouth.
piece.
oh,
I just gave him a piece. What am I doing?
Gave up a piece and blew out my eardrums.
I didn't think. Oh my fuck. Oh my goodness gracious. What have I just done? Oh my God. He's going to spot that.
This is shocking.
Oh my God. He didn't spot it. Oh my God. Okay. What the fuck? I'm just going to take it.
wow.
CDawg dodged a massive bullet just now.
I wonder if there's a bit of Gigguk. Sorry, throwing my phone away off camera. I wonder if there's a bit of Gigguk who didn't. Okay, I don't want to read into the psychology too much, but we know the relationship between the guys. We know the history has been that Connor is the better player, right? And sometimes when you know you're the worst player in the two and you have that sort of history, it's like a little brother, big brother syndrome. You don't expect the blunder. And I think Gigguk just didn't even realize the bishop on b4 was hanging here. He just didn't even expect the blunder. And so he just missed it.
So yeah, a lot of what happened with Gigguk is that I told him that he has a one-player style, right? That he just wants to play his plans and not really care about what his opponent plays. And so the thing that I told him is like, okay, we have to play this kind of 1.5 player chess, where basically you identify your opponent's threats first, you eliminate your opponent's threats, and then you go with your plans, right? And so that's the kind of style that I taught him in. And I think that he was just going for his plans a little bit too much without identifying first what he was trying to do, and that it was actually a blunder.
Right.
And it could also be, we drill the opening principles into the beginner's head so heavily that we have to also remember to have them still have that awareness before each move. Don't just make your opening moves, but also check the situation each time.
Yep. Yeah, we always say every piece of advice is a guide, it's a plan. These days it's your Siri, it's your map quest, but you still have to control the wheel with everything that pops in front of you as you drive, And I think that we'll see how that goes. We'll see how Gigguk responds to that, whether he even knows. Maybe the best thing for Gigguk right now is he maybe doesn't even know that he missed an opportunity yet, right? Because psychologically, it can be harder to recover when you know you messed up. So we'll see. I think that Connor's position is still a bit of trouble potentially now with this check. So if Gigguk doesn't know that he blundered, guys, he might still think he's doing well here, just psychologically.
And I want to go into Gigguk's game because he just played a Giga Brain move, guys. Like Queen E5, I think was the best move in that position. And I would love to see.
Yeah. Let's listen and see why he made that decision.
It's fine by me. I guess now I can start trading, right?
Okay, Gigguk says he likes that.
Trade.
And very interesting. The time is about even. He, CDawg is up 30 seconds, but he's thinking right now.
And then I can develop my bishop there and block his queen, so then I can castle either side.
Very nice.
Yep. Eyeing bishop d3 so that he can potentially castle either king side or queen side, and he can do it whenever Connor wants to show his plan.
He seems calm.
Mm-hmm. I suppose he would want to move his knight there to get my queen off. Yep. Saw that one coming. Where's the best position to move my queen? Can't move there, because then he'll trade. Or can I move there? No, he'll get a free bishop there.
Danny made a very interesting observation, which is, that you wondered whether or not knowing he missed that free piece was or wasn't affecting him. And it seems like, obviously, we don't know whether he did or didn't see it, but either way, he's composed. So
I thought you were going to say the observation I made of the poster behind Gigguk along with the Twitch chat. But yes, I also made an observation earlier about the okay, so he backs up there. And again, now I'm going to be a little more aggressive in my psychological profiling. As a coach, chess is very much psychology, and you tend to learn very quickly like potential traits of strength and weakness in the way someone approaches a game. But as a coach, I try not to be too early, like impressing my view on it and projecting, because I may be bringing in past experiences. But now I'm sure of it. Like Gigguk is not being aggressive enough. He missed a piece earlier on bishop b4. And now, so he misses a whole piece, right? And now Connor plays a threat, and his whole focus is on the potential consequences of the threat. He's not even looking for his winning moves here, which would be queen takes g7. This move would be winning pretty much on the spot. And this is now that I've seen enough of it, it's much more likely I can say that this is what happens when you play someone who has historically been better than you. It's different than playing someone for the first time who may be better than you. It's a different kind of gamesmanship. There's a psychological thing you have to make a breakthrough of. And that worries me a little bit now that I'm seeing it in action, that I have a hard time going to be picking against Connor in this match, because Gigguk has been winning twice now out of the opening, and he hasn't seen either opportunity. So JT, that's a thing as a coach you got to address later too, right? Like, hey, like the psychological burden of, check your opponent's mistakes too, not just their threats, right? He's not looking for that opportunity.
Right. And I guess it also stems down to like he likes to think a lot, right? And maybe he's just only thinking about like beautiful plans for himself and not for his opponent's mistake. So I definitely agree with you, Danny. That's something that we will go over in the future.
Well, no, I didn't mean that as a coach call out. I'm not calling you out. I was saying like it's just an important psychological thing to like recognize that like it's not even about his own plans. He's thinking about Connor's threats. Like Bishop B4 was played.
Right.
In this position, all he thought about was, oh, I have to get rid of this bishop. What is this bishop going to do to me? What is this bishop going to do to me? So he attacked it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't think at all about the fact that the bishop was hanging, right?
Right.
And then with knight to g4, you can just see the cycle. And again, it's normal. That's all I was saying is I think that it's a thing that is hard to overcome and makes an underdog uphill battle even worse when you've had many games against someone who was previously better than you.
Right.
That's all. Anyway, it's interesting. I think it's still plenty of game ahead, and on the clock, they're actually roughly equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Connor knows he probably got off to a worse start than Gigguk does at this point. Like, I think Gigguk has missed his opportunities, and Connor's probably like, I just don't even know that I'm playing well. I mean, we'll take a listen in to see what he's thinking, but that's my read on the psychology right now.
Right.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's listen in on Connor and see how he feels.
He wants to surprise attack.
Connor definitely trying to guess at Gigguk's plans.
He's quieter than he's ever been on stream.
Yes.
I know that he can just reveal the bishop at the moment. I want to pin the bishop to the rook at the moment.
Yeah, that's a great observation, JT. This is a more serious CDawg than we've seen in this competition.
Mm-hmm.
I want to cut off this square though as well for the bishop. I don't want to allow it to go there. I mean, you can't get that right now, so I guess there's no point. I don't want it to have this square though either.
And also that huge blunder earlier might have changed his psyche and said, hey, I can't do this again.
I think I should preemptively move my queen there.
CDawg finding a nice prophylactic move, yeah.
Let me get my queen out of the way. I need to keep this line.
This may also be the first time Connor's been down on the clock in a match.
Yeah. E5, wow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected that.
Jojo expected that move.
Yeah, I thought it was a good move, and then as soon as I said it was a good move and I found it, he found it right after me.
So are you saying that you just Jojo'd the Jojo?
I Jojo'd the Jojo.
Wow.
You can't Jojo a Jojo, actually. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, and you can't Jojo a Jojo. So that is sorry.
No, all Jojos are linked, actually.
Oh, okay.
All generations of Jojos are linked.
This anime theory?
It's super anime theory.
Bishop d5 was a good move there, though, from Connor right back at it. e5 was an aggressive move, and it's a clearance move for potential tactics here, everybody. But Bishop d5 was a very quick heads up, recognizes he has the chance to double up the pressure of the queen and the rook on the pawn. And I think you guys made the right observation. Connor has been more quiet, more focused. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. But I think that's the early hangover of he knew he didn't start out well. He saw Bishop b4 was hanging. Remember, we had him on camera. Remember his reaction?
Mm-hmm.
But now as the game's going on, I think he's finding himself a little bit more. And I think it's going to be an unfortunate kind of review if Giga goes back and look at it, where he just doesn't realize how potentially better he was. Because I have a hard time believing that Connor doesn't pick up that e5 pawn and then start to be better from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
There he goes. It's funny, yeah. But Connor, he didn't know the Scotch, so I don't know where Gigguk learned the Scotch. But Connor clearly had no idea what to do there.
And we saw something like that from Rustage yesterday when he went up against Connor. He played openings that he knew Connor didn't know.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Gigguk is now in trouble, down a pawn, and should be worse. But there's still the potential of anytime you have kings on opposite sides of the board, right? Tactics galore, always potential chances for an attack and a blunder, because both sides can really just focus their efforts on the enemy king without thinking too much about their own. So we'll see what Gigguk comes up here but he's now down under 4 minutes. So, JT, you've worked with both these guys. Who's going to be the better player when that time scramble hits, when the gloves come off?
So I think CDawg might be the favorite here.
Okay.
If it goes under 3 minutes and the positions roughly equal, I think CDawg will be better. Just Gart likes to just think, and he likes to make plans. He likes to make his own ideas, but it just takes a lot of time.
Right.
And I think that's where the blunders are going to happen.
Do you like this move, Queen F4?
I do, even though it doesn't even have a concrete threat because the queen guards F7, and the rook is still guarded by the queen. I like the move, though, from just you're putting pressure on the king side. There's still the potential for tactics. You kind of eye this H7 pawn, and Connor's in blunderable territory. You see the clock ticking away here because he's got to be a little scared. The rook is sort of pinned to the queen.
Yeah, and does that make does that make something like rook D to E1 useful?
Okay, maybe it would have been. I mean, not anymore. Obviously, the rook coming to E7 is just an offering of the queen trade. And you have to be careful with moves like rook D1. If that rook could have taken with check, then it would have been a reverse. Pins can be reverse discoveries. That's the thing about pins we have to be careful about, right? If you can move the pin piece with a tempo, then you actually win the material behind it, so a pin becomes a discovered attack. But either way, Connor gets a heads up kind of token from me. Did you know I give out heads up tokens?
No,
heads up token.
Didn't.
The heads up token. He gets a heads up token because he just eliminates all of it and just says, I'm up a pawn. I'm just going to get the pieces off the board. That's a heads up play from Connor.
It's really interesting. Like, even this middle game is very interesting. And I think, like, we always have to worry about the G4 pawn after, let's say, we start a trade. The G2 pawn. And do we want to trade, right? And are they going to take control of the open files if we have to worry about our G pawn, right? So these are things that I'm just thinking about. And there's still a lot of play here, even at my level, or I think even at everybody's level. I think there's a lot of play here.
And you know what? Gigguk was eyeing that rook that we just talked about, but settles on a different move. Let's listen in to see how he is going to redirect his pieces to get an attack going.
This is damn difficult. Okay, now I'm going to start pushing pawns up.
Sorry, that was awkward. That was bad guy anime.
Whoa.
That was a mistake, right? That was a mistake by him.
Recognizing that it's a mistake.
That gives me an opening, right?
Are we going to have history in the making here?
And I can...
Gigguk says he has never won a game against Connor.
Okay, he's given me an opening. He's given me an opening.
And now he's fighting.
Oh, and it's amazing.
He's given me an opening.
Wow. He gave him an opening.
Is he sweating? He must be sweating. He must be sweating really damn bad now. Do I go?
This is really scary. If I were Connor, I would be so scared in this position.
Yes, he's blocking with this rook.
Gigguk working it out. Meanwhile, let's check in with Connor and see how he's dealing with this new threat.
Yeah. Take a look.
I'm throwing so hard.
Oh my gosh.
What is happening?
I don't want to say anything.
My goodness.
It was mate in one.
It was made in one.
Oh my god,
I don't want to say anything.
Queen takes F8. Would have been lights out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A moment ago.
Oh no.
And it seems like Connor knows he's in danger, but didn't have a sense how much
He's a long
danger.
time though, so I'm pretty sure
No.
he can do it.
For sure.
Gigguk with less than a minute.
But still, if Gigguk doesn't win this game, guys, it's because he just didn't realize how potentially good his position was multiple times, including a mate in 1. And now he's under a minute.
He has to be very careful here because there are a lot of mates. I would love to see Gigguk's perspective here because he's the one that's attacking. And what is he thinking?
Yeah, I mean, CDawg's got time to think, but Gigguk, on the other hand, has to use what little time left he has to come after him.
He has to do something.
Let's go. 40, a few seconds here. There's only a few seconds left.
CDawg allowing some very dangerous things to happen.
Oh!
Checkmate in 1.
There's a checkmate. Come on.
Okay, I'm just gonna start trading pieces.
Oh my fucking god!
Come on! Game fucking on! Game on!
Wow.
He's
Wow.
screaming
Holy
game
shit.
on.
Holy shit!
Wow, what a
Wow.
I can't
game!
believe that. I can't believe that.
He can't.
I can't believe I played so bad.
That was
Connor-
mind-blowing.
Connor's saying he cannot believe it. This is. Guys, what?
This could be a crazy upset. So I'm shocked that Gigguk eventually won the game, not because he didn't play better, but I feel like he was missing all of his opportunities.
Mhm.
And then finally, when push came to shove, he finally delivered on the most important one, which is a checkmate in 1 move. And he
Oh
found
my
it,
gosh.
and he finished. So that's history. Gigguk has never beaten Connor until now. Connor, the heavy favorite to win tournament arc, is now down 1-0. It's win or go home for CDawg.
Wow.
Right now.
At this point, the rating difference really means nothing. These two players
Nothing.
can beat each other. And so game 2, CDawg has the white pieces, and he must win. He cannot just draw. He has to beat Gigguk right now to stay in the running for the championship.
And you know what's very interesting is that they've played many times, and it's just like casual games. Like if you play Blitz and it's not in a tournament setting, it kind of just doesn't really hold as much weight. But when you're in a tournament setting, that win matters that much more, and you're concentrating and you're thinking even harder. So I think that's what happened here, and maybe Connor was a little bit lax and said, "Well, I mean, I beat him so many times."
Yeah, I wonder if Connor's going to give up exactly what he was feeling if we listen in right now in these opening moves.
Can't push this. I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
Connor's still reeling from that first loss. And look at Gigguk. He's playing this sort of suffocating chess that we've seen him practice.
That 1.5 player chess.
Okay.
This is the most intense and quiet we've seen Connor. I think he's feeling the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is so intense.
This is rough. This is it's very interesting to see when a person who was the favorite now loses a game, and now they are in a must-win situation.
Yeah, and I wonder if the hangover of finally losing to someone who I think that CDawg has known that Gigguk is getting better and better and better. I mean, Connor has been the favorite here in a lot of people's eyes for good reason, but Gigguk has been improving, and I think now, does he find himself, right? really bring out the best in his chess, which I thought he was on pace to do it last game before this G5 move, and I think you said it, JT. Maybe he just got a little overconfident, got a little lax because it was just such a horrible blunder. But now we'll see. White should be better here if he finds the right moves. I mean, he should find a way to maybe trade the knights on d4, okay, and then bring the queen out. I thought maybe to attack f7. This is risky, opening the door for black to get a lot of counterplay here. And indeed, look at Gigguk. He plays rook b8 very quickly.
Yeah, he may have been thinking, well, let's destroy the pawns on the other side, making the prospect of castling pretty ugly in either direction, but yikes.
But that's a good point. That's a good point, Arn. That could have been what Connor was thinking as far as getting rid of the pawn here, because the black king doesn't have safety on this side of the board long term now that Gigguk has already advanced the pawns. So that's a really good point. And I think that even if the computers objectively think black is okay here, it is interesting. As long as Connor gets castled and his king is safe from a practical point of view, black is going to have a lot to figure out about where this king is safe in the long term.
And JT,
Yeah.
I know you've talked to Gigguk about, things like king safety and stuff like that. Do you think he's gonna look at this situation and just make a decision to go on an all-out attack, or?
I think he will, actually. I think he's gonna go all out. He's winning. That's the psyche. Like, okay, like now that I'm winning, I really have to take this opportunity and try to punish him.
Well, let's listen in because we see a lot of talk coming out of that camera, and he must be sharing his plans. So let's listen to them. Considering the trade.
What's he gonna do? If I check him.
Goes for a check.
And we should notice here that CDawg is playing extremely quickly. After 14 moves, only down 45 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking on his opponent's turn, which is important.
What can I do? How can I keep applying this pressure?
Okay, he says he wants to continue to apply pressure.
He's trapped my rook. And that was very good advantage from him to notice that.
And how amazing would it be if we had two matches that ended up in the Blitz tiebreak on the final stream?
I mean,
on the season finale.
You can't ask for anything better than that. But maybe we don't even get there because there have to be tactics lying in wait here on this side of the board, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just Weave in the Twitch chat said he thought bishop b3 was very impressive by Connor to find the retreating defensive move. I agree.
We know Gigguk is on the attack. JT, what kind of attacking moves do you think we might see?
I mean, I think this is going to be really hard for him to find. But now that you are basically dominating on the queen side, you should start thinking about other parts of the board. And well, there are two options, right? There's one, keep attacking on the queen side, but I think that option is just limiting your options. And I think you should start attacking on the king side now that all of the pieces kind of shifted over to the queen side for defense. Because
well, the biggest problem though for black is that the rook is potentially trapped.
Mm-hmm.
So queen f6 is played. He's bringing out pieces like you said, but a lot of Connor's problems are solved if he just gets the king out of the center. If he gets castled here and everything opens up, the knight is no longer pinned. So you have threats of knight c4. The rook is suddenly a big problem. This could be a really dangerous lesson for Gigguk if depending on very good for Connor, he finally castles. Because here's the thing, like even from a practical point of view, now Gigguk has to find all the best moves to hold on with a rook that has wandered so far from home.
Right.
I mean, there's already a threat. Knight c4 is a threat on the board, and
right.
This is going to be a really big moment for Gigguk. And that's the kind of what happens in a position like this. Without the best move from here on out, all of a sudden your rook has just has gone. I mean, Queen C1 and Knight C4. Okay, LOL, not Queen C1. Everybody.
Wow, Danny.
not Queen C1. But the idea of the rook being shot, like, okay, Connor doesn't play as bad as me. Big surprise, and finds Knight C4. But you get what I'm saying. The rook has gone too far.
But honestly, if that knight on d4, and now they have a lot of dark square weaknesses, right? So that bishop is going to be great. And in comparison to White's dark square bishop is really bad.
Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, but again, it's going to come down to the material. I think that now that the rook is trapped, I think Connor's sending us to our second tiebreak of the day.
Wow.
Did we not get the finale we wanted or not, people? Come on.
And I told you this is going to be the hypest episode of the tournament arc. I told you guys yesterday. I told you guys in my Twitter post. I told you guys. Oh, I'm so excited.
This is okay. I mean, Gigguk is going to be all in now with an attack, and like you said, he was feeling aggressive. He's winning in the match, all that stuff. And I don't think it was the wrong psychology, but every player in their growth learns lessons of things like a rook takes b2, where you learn that it was a good idea, but maybe you missed the potential consequence. And bishop b3, by Chess Weave pointed out, Grandmaster Boros in the Twitch chat. He's totally right. This was a heads-up play. It doesn't matter that black maybe with perfect play was still okay, but that trapped the rook, and that's going to ultimately be why Connor won the game, was that bishop b3 move.
Well,
I would love to see what Connor is thinking right now, because I'm super excited.
I'm wondering if he's breathing a sigh of relief. It was definitely a sigh.
Yeah.
He can't do anything immediately.
Yeah, he knows his king is safe.
Right.
Can't really do anything with the pawns either.
But on a second look, the king side does seem a bit shaky for White.
Yeah, maybe with a good sacrifice, Gigguk can get in.
I'm gonna move my king.
And we have the first muda of the day.
I knew it was an anime reference, and so
Oh yeah, it's a super anime reference. Yeah.
I laugh because I don't know things. I do that as a dad a lot.
I think swinging my knight back around was a good idea.
If you say muda,
but
as fast as you
I
can,
really want to open up this pawn.
Chess Twitch chat would love
I feel
you.
like it's going to be important.
We can save that.
I'm so
for later.
sad that I lost that first game. It was such a dumb game. I shouldn't have lost it.
I don't like making the
just
Twitch
wasn't
chat
paying
love me,
attention.
so-
I see. Okay, fair enough.
Connor's still thinking about that first game. He mentioned that that was a sour experience for him just now. And he's probably not feeling too comfortable
There's
about
a fork now, obviously, but there's no way he can get it. No way. No way.
Wow, all these pieces are eyeing the king side. I need to know how black gets through.
Well, but Connor seems to feel. I mean, obviously Gigguk was the one on the clock there and trying to come up with something. And I think Connor had calculated he wanted to play this F3 move, which is a little risky, but overall it's hard to lose this if he makes a trade. Or I think what Connor's plan is, I think he likes the idea of bringing this bishop here to trade off this sort of meddling bishop on c5, which is a nice plan to try to bring the bishop here to trade off the attacker. And indeed he does it. That's what I predicted when he played F3, that it wasn't necessary. He could have traded the bishop for the knight, other things, but I think he spied this bishop as his problem, which is a good sign of technique, meaning when you're better, you just recognize what are the biggest pain points. Let's eliminate them one pain point at a time. Because again, the chess psychology should always be, if you're winning, you should always win. And you do that by being disciplined and by just eliminating your problems. So I like the idea of bishop f2, even if it wasn't totally necessary. It shows that he saw this problem. So,
and what about h3 instead of trading the bishops first?
I think either way, Gigguk knows he's all in right now. He's pushing Harry up the board, right? If Connor makes a horrible mistake, like to make a trade on the H file, something that brings life to the black pieces, he could get in trouble. I think if he finds the move G3, this game will be over. But if he,
That's like I said. If he finds G3, H takes G2 check.
We have to listen in on Gigguk right now and see if he sees.
Yeah, that's a fork, right? And he can't take. Free rook. It's fine by me.
Oh.
What a turn of events.
And now we're back even. Now we're back even. Let's go. Oh.
Now, Danny, he just said something very interesting that cues you into the psychology. He said, now we're back even. Does he not realize he's doing so much better than that?
he's focused on the material part of it because remember the biggest pain point in Gigguk's brain is that he lost his rook on b2 back on move 17, right? So his whole psychology is, okay, now we're even. I've got my rook back, and I think that's already okay. But I do think it continues to show Gigguk's sort of psychological perspective is that he's just trying to stay with Connor. I think Gigguk has had a healthy underdog mindset coming into this match that has kept him super focused because, and yes, it led to missed opportunities in that first game that I highlighted, but ultimately it's proving to pay off because one of the best things you can do as a chess player is to just never rest on your laurels. It's okay if you're winning to think you're close to even, because as long as you objectively find the best move, it doesn't matter, right? You don't need to have the emotional comfort of thinking you're winning or losing. Like, just find the best move. And I think Gigguk's mindset is actually really clear. I think Connor is just clearly off his game right now. He's just not considering Gigguk's threats, which is why he missed this H takes G2 check. I'm just blown away right now. I'm sorry. This is just crazy to me. I just really thought Connor was really a heavy favorite, and he's not in his best chess. And if Queen takes F3 is played here, OMGs or snaps. Get your emotes out.
Yeah, he's feeling it. Let's listen in.
Wow.
Connor is feeling the heat. You know, I would say he's not letting it show, but his silence kind of says the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
This is the muda muda muda, check after check after check after check.
Is that a mistake?
Oh, yeah.
What's a muda muda muda?
He said it.
We'll
Great.
we'll educate you later, Danny.
Yeah.
We'll sit you down. We'll teach you the ways.
Yeah. We'll have an anime 101 lesson for you.
We'll show you the hamon.
The Hamo. Another great lesson.
Okay.
And great moves being played
That's a
by
blunder,
Gigguk.
right? No, it's not. Fuck. Oh my god.
Connor is definitely feeling the heat.
Yeah, he's desperate for Gigguk to make a mistake, and he's not making one.
If you're... This is tough.
Yeah,
That's a bad sign right there. The last thing we saw with Connor before we switched away, the fact that he was arrowing through the moves.
Yes, I was just about to.
It means he's living in the past and he's frustrated with the mistakes that he's made. This is I've had so many lessons on this, both in terms of training that I was given by grandmasters and by, training with my students, that he's just not, like, the fact that he was better earlier, but still beating himself up about the game before. Remember, right before he blundered? He's just not present right now, and that's a normal thing that happens when you've like decided I'm better, I should win, and so you just keep thinking that if it's not going your way, that the story is you've done something wrong. You have to remain present, and you can't be second guessing moves mid game. Do that after the game. But I will say the one thing I'll give Connor credit for if he comes back, if he finds Queen E2 here. Oh, he does. Okay, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Connor wins this game because the one thing he did was even when things went off the rails and when things were not what he wanted them to be, he kept the tempo, and he's going to win this game because of time. I really think so, and I think that's going to pay off.
I like your prediction, actually, Danny.
Yeah, Gigguk's only got a minute left on the clock. Let's listen in because
he's rook. Right?
He's got to go fast.
No. Yeah, because he can't move his queen in the way.
We talk about this all the time. Getting the initiative, you have to be able to keep it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Under a minute.
Wow, this is tough.
Shit. What's the right move here?
You know, this is that what now moment, right? Your attack seems to have finished.
Do I want to castle now? Oh, I'm running out of time. Fuck. No, I want to get my queen. I want to get my queen out there. I'm going to be living on increment soon. Well, that's bad.
Okay, so at least he understands the concept of being able to gain some time by moving quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, the increment concept. But I still think it's going to be too little, too late.
I've not got enough time to think about this. I'm just going to offer up the queen trade. He
Nice
can take it if
move
he
by
wants.
Connor.
It
Very
still
nice
puts me
move.
in a good position because then I got my rook up here.
Connor issuing the check first. Burns more time on Gigguk's clock.
Shall I queen trade? Yeah, fuck it.
And Connor with 5 minutes on the clock.
Can't go there. I've got to win this through increment now. Okay, gotta start planning this out quick.
Okay, so he
I'm gonna try and
knows
promote this pawn.
He wants to promote the pawn. He wants to promote the cheap pawn.
the goal is to move fast.
Uh-oh.
The checks will keep coming, making it difficult.
Oh, this is so fucking tense. Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Look, I
Oh,
can't say anything. This is
shut my
crazy.
phone there.
There's just
Ah, fuck.
seconds on the clock. White is winning.
Is this over? Is this it?
That rook is hanging.
Is this it? Is this fucking it?
Neither of them see it.
He's just living on increment.
My pawns are trapped in the corner. Oh, this game's lost. This game's fucking lost.
Wow. We are going to go to tiebreak.
There's
For
nothing
sure.
I can do.
I don't know yet. I mean, Connor hasn't put it away.
There's nothing I can do. I've lost. I've lost. Ah.
Gigguk is already
Oh,
basically
there's a really beautiful move here. Hopefully we are able to see it.
he's emotionally divested from this game.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be. It's too bad because neither player realizes the rook on h4 is for free. That's a free rook.
It's almost like CDawg thinks he only also has 13 seconds on his clock.
Yeah, and CDawg did the right thing earlier, which is why I predicted he would come back and win, because he kept the pressure and got Gigguk under this horrible time. Now he's finally slowing down. Now if he takes a second and just gets back to playing the best move on the board, he's going to win the game. Because at this point, white isn't even objectively losing, even if the rook saves itself. Like, white is not worse here. So as long, and by the way, the rook did save itself. As long as Connor plays good moves here, he'll actually be fine.
This is a really tense game.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that was not. This is no, I think Gigguk might realize now. It's funny, he was emotionally kind of like not threw in the towel, but he just figured it was a matter of time before he lost on time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think maybe he realizes he still has a rook. Maybe for not for long. Will Connor see the fork?
There is a killer
move. Can we see what Connor's thinking right now?
Yes, let's see if he spots it. He can guarantee almost the tiebreak.
Connor's putting a lot of pressure on himself as well.
He is, but he's not moving too quickly. He sees that he's got 3.5 minutes on the clock. Could hear a pin drop all the way in Tokyo.
Uh-oh, and he cannot repeat. If he repeats, he loses.
Oh boy. Remember the stakes, everyone. A draw wins the tournament for Gigguk.
If he repeats with the knight to c5, it's a draw.
Oh.
I don't know if he knows 3-move repetition. If black plays king c7, it's a draw.
Oh! No, don't play king c7, please. Oh!
By repetition?
God.
What?
Can we see what? Wow,
what?
Connor is feeling.
Oh my gosh.
What? How is that a draw by repetition? What?
Oh.
Oh my god, look who came in this room. Is that?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Fuck you, Connor.
Looks like her. No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This whole time. You were the protagonist the whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. What's chat saying? What is chat saying? This was the most anime. This was the most anime final you could possibly hope for.
Oh,
unbelievable. The protagonist wins. Gigguk by repetition. Oh my gosh. Who could have predicted this? He gets the half point he needs, seals the deal. The tournament is over. Gigguk has won tournament arc. OMGs or snaps, right?
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy. And the way that we got here was so wild, and it was just not the way you expect the championship to be won with the repetition, especially because like Connor learned such a harsh lesson there, which is that it's about whether the position repeats 3 times. Look how hard this is.
Wow. Well,
because this is okay.
I think
maybe
we remember something here.
But before we dive in though, maybe we ought to save the chess for the players.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get them on camera and my goodness, guys. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Gigguk and CDawg. Don't go anywhere. with a minute and a half left on the commercial break clock, I just decided, no, we can't wait. We have to come back.
This was amazing. You guys were incredible. I think JT has JT has a theory about why the fates were in order to end the way that they did. JT, go ahead.
All right, guys, stay with me. It's gonna be a little bit long, but it's gonna be great. All right. So Connor was the villain. We all know this. He was antagonist.
Yeah.
Gigguk was
not for me, but go ahead.
And Garnet was the protagonist, right? And so Connor was always stronger than Garnet in chess. Does this sound familiar? Hold on, it'll start to get there, right? He's always been stronger. He's always won every single fight. But after training for so long, Garnet built up that muscle. When things got tough, even though he had his JoJo suit on, but he had the mind of an evil genius. Good and justice prevailed.
I didn't know that second game was going to draw. I didn't know that.
And I didn't think you did. And regardless of as JT's pointing out, the plot armor of this thing, people talking about it, but I didn't see it that. I thought you were going to get the W here, and I think at a point Gigguk thought he was going to lose too. But I said to chat right before we went to break, and so I'll point out you learned a really harsh lesson about the draw rules of chess, which is that
I did.
If the position occurs 3 times, it doesn't matter if the moves are different.
Oh.
So this position on move 52, I just clicked it. You can't even see it because it's the same position. This position on move 52 was the same. And you knew you were repeating, and so you knew you had to do something different.
Yeah.
But if you get the same position, even though those last 2 moves got there via a different way, it's actually still a draw. And we were on the edge of our seat and just hearts throbbing, like, oh my God, does he not know that if he plays knight to c5?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I feel so
that was
bad.
my plot. That was my secret technique all along. That was
I thought
used to finish off the match.
Yeah, I thought because the move was different, it would be okay, and then I was about to like start pushing pawns, but really unfortunate because I think I could have done it as well, but oh well.
No, and there you go, and that is unfortunate because it's a rule that you learned a harsh lesson because it's threefold repetition, it's threefold position, threefold repetition of the position, not the moves, and that's a weird. It sounds silly because yes, obviously, if the same exact moves are played 3 times, the same position occurs. But if the same position occurs, even if it takes 150 moves, which is unlikely, but that's the lesson of this, is that it doesn't matter if the moves are different. So I hate to dive into the chess weeds, but it's it was such a weird way for that to end. And you guys gave us quite the show, though. Thank you.
And honestly, so there was a lot of stuff that happened there, and I want Danny to show us a little bit more because honestly, it was amazing chess. And I'm really proud. I said this before, but I am proud of the chess that you guys have played throughout this whole tournament. Like, you guys have really, really made me proud, and it shows in your game that you've just gotten better since day one until now.
Well, so. Grandmaster Chess Weeb was in the chat, Dennis Boros, who's a big anime fan, and he was applauding your move right here, Connor, bishop to b3.
Oh, yeah.
A fantastic one.
That was a really good move.
Yeah, I wanted to trap him in there.
Yeah, and that was exactly a fantastic move, and it's nice to know, you had the thought process. It wasn't even just about defending the pawn with the bishop, which it does, but it traps the rook. Yeah. And I don't think we jinxed it, but at a certain point, you won the rook, and we were like, if Connor goes on to win this game, it's because of this brilliant bishop b3 move.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up. But then Gigguk, you went kind of full beast mode here, and you just started throwing everything at the king's side.
Yeah, because Connor castled, and that was like my go button. Because how I saw it is that rook was lost, right?
Right.
But all of Connor's pieces were on that side of the board, and then he castled. So what I saw was just, okay, he can take that piece. He can waste time taking that piece. I'm going to use that time to set up my attack on the castle side of the board, and basically see how he deals with it. Because none of this, my king wasn't in any threat, so I was just going to see if I could make threats on his king and see how he handles that instead.
Connor, you you had a good plan with this f3 move because your
Yeah.
focus was on eliminating the bishop.
Yeah.
Did you just miscalculate that he takes on g2 with check? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I didn't think it enough. I should have stayed longer, but I realized when the bishop had been when he started pushing the pawn on the H file, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, I should have pushed my pawn 2 early, or at least 1 at that point. I should have
Right.
pushed the pawn 1, and
To
it would have
maybe
completely
stop
stopped
him.
his attack, and it would have been done.
Right.
I think I just panicked, and I know I shouldn't have. But yeah, it's my bad. I know I had that game as well. But
Yeah.
you know, it's unfortunate. I just missed it.
No, I mean, we have no reason to review it other than enjoying it with you guys. You guys played so well, and even after this, I was applauding the fact that you knew you were worse, but you stayed up on the clock, and that was leading to our final kind of climactic moment here, where you were up on the clock, and if you hadn't avoided the draw, maybe you still win. Gigguk, what was your mindset there to just dig yourself out of the time pressure hole? Because look at this right here in the timeline, right here, you were literally, you were literally at one point living off the increment. You made a move with like a second on the clock.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, so there was a point when I had just given up, and I was just like, okay, let's just play this out to the end.
Right.
And then I realized that when I got my rook in last position, that I can possibly just play this out for a draw, because it's on Connor to win this, because I only need a draw. So I just try to make it as annoying as possible. I didn't want to give him anything for free. Just play it out for the draw. That was my tactic.
I realized it was a mistake giving away my bishop as well. It was pinning down the 2 pieces and the pawn. Shouldn't have done that.
Well, we don't even need to dive more into the chess. I mean, obviously, you guys have had an amazing event and brought us all the way to the championship. I've been watching as a fan. My first commentary experience here did not disappoint. And so you guys are awesome at what you do, and thanks for competing in this event and doing what we do, I guess, doing some chess here for this week. So this has been awesome.
Yep.
And
thank you very much.
And Connor, I'm expecting a message on Twitter from you very shortly, asking about the dates of the comeback arc tournament. Am I right?
We'll need round 2. We'll need round 2 for sure. Got to claim my rightful crown. Got robbed.
Dio Brando never dies.
It's true.
I'm just glad that the only time I've ever beaten Connor was on the biggest stage.
I just did, man. I don't know, man. That first game, I have no idea what I was doing. It was just a complete mess. I don't know.
Yeah. Protagonist power activate, right?
Yeah, no
It doesn't matter what
kidding.
happens in training.
No
What matters in the final tournament.
I mean, thank you so much, guys. This was absolutely unbelievable. We everyone, Chess.com here, the viewers, I know that we are all super grateful that you came out here and you showed us your best chess, and we're gonna keep an eye on you both, and I imagine we'll be talking soon about some future opportunities to play some more chess together. What do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I'd be down. This was a very, very fun experience. Considering this was the first time I've played chess since like middle school or something, so it's been really fun to come back.
Well, congratulations to both of you, and thank you so much, and we'll see you around on the World Wide Web.
All right, awesome. Thanks for having us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And there you have it. That's it. Gigguk takes home the bacon. He gets the $2,000 prize and is crowned Tournament Arc Champion. Wow. Do you believe it? We came all this way, and Gigguk takes it.
I'm shocked, honestly. I think, and I don't know what it is about the final. I mean, maybe it is just some weird, anime tournament arc curse that you guys put on things with the plot armor. But it was, I'm just shocked, and it's not taking anything away from Gigguk. I think Connor just clearly didn't have his best chess in this last couple games, but that Gigguk has come so far. I've said I've watched more of his streams than anyone else. But like he said, Connor said, he was like, I just played terrible that first game, and then he got a little bit unlucky with this draw rule here that a lot of beginner players wouldn't know. But at the same time, wow, what drama we had. And Gigguk had the right mindset. He was like, all I got to do is get a draw here. So as he explained himself, he clearly did everything he needed to do to win this championship. So
And JT, are you happy with the result?
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I was rooting for the villain, but the protagonist always wins, and the plot armor is just so thick. And I mean, but Dio Brando never dies, and we'll see this happen and unfold real soon.
Well, I guess this is, before we wrap up, my opportunity to thank a lot of people. Obviously, I want to thank the players: Sid Snap, Rustage, the Anime Man, Revel House, Mother's Basement, Super Eye Patch Wolf, CDawg, Gigguk, and then of course thank my co-host, Japanese Tutor, for not only being my co-commentator all the way up to the finals, but also coaching the players and offering your YouTube content after the fact. You've got lessons out there that you had with the players on your YouTube channel. And then the staff behind the scenes, of course, Chris, who's helping out with the event, and our new event manager. You know who you are. I know you're watching. And then, of course, Danny, I brought this idea to you about a month ago after I reached out to Connor, and he expressed that he wanted to rally the anime community if I could rally the chess community. And you remember that call. I was super nervous bringing this to Chess.com, but I have to thank you for saying yes and making this possible, and for joining us tonight, of course.
It's my absolute pleasure. And like I said, and again, I was like, why did you present this idea earlier? This is awesome. This is amazing. And it's been some of the coolest, just not only the way that the event was presented, the community behind it. I mean, all those of you in chat, those of you who may be watching later, you know who you are. It's just been so cool to see the anime community rally behind it, and also just have a ton of fun watching more people, engage with chess and understand that there's the growth of getting better is a big part of the fun, right? And I think that we have so many amazing events with the world's best chess players going on all the time on Chess.com, but these events are in some ways just like super special in terms of the drama and the growth you see of the players throughout the last couple of weeks, watching where they've come, and this is awesome. So shout out to Connor and the whole anime crew that committed to this, and Aaron for having the brainchild that has become Tournament Arc. So super excited about what this was.
Thanks, Danny. And then last, of course, I want to thank my beautiful wife for making sure that I look gorgeous and feel good every day before I come and do the show. And thank the viewers, all of you out there. You came every single night. And get at us on Twitter. Let us know when you want to see the comeback arc begin. Thank you, and we'll see you around. Good night, everybody.
Muda, 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 muda. Muda, muda, muda. Muda, muda, muda. Muda, muda, muda.